But asking that question is a great entree into your essay. It sounds like your question is, what is McCarthy glorifying in terms of the past and the present, and what is he marking as what we're losing? Essentially English is a program for 10th through 12th graders in high school at Germantown Friends. It's a fourth quarter elective program which is comprised of April and May. What's unique about it is that students can elect to take classes during the day or they could take classes at night. And in the night classes, parents can take the class, alums, friends of GFS, even some faculty and staff take our evening classes as well. So it's a really different model for most elective programs in independent schools.
Everybody in the movie cares about, in this case, the ring, right? But the audience doesn't care about the ring at all. The audience just cares about the characters.
It's a class where we try to emulate as closely as possible what actually happens with professional screenwriters in LA and New York.
I just had this new client, and then I have to take them out to dinner.
The students have to come up with characters and plots and weave them together so that it's both an engrossing film and also, if we're lucky, a real portrayal of a person.
Like the timing and the dialogue and everything was so perfect and on point with things that I've seen before.
I can't even tell you how impressed I was by the quality of the work. It seemed that these students particularly were able to very quickly grasp the idea of immediate and dramatic and visual storytelling. They were really exceptional. It was really fun, and it's exactly what I would have wanted. I would have taken that class like 17 times if I could.
Where he's basically saying there's a lot of hype around Patti Smith right now, and everybody wants a superstar.
The reason why I chose the rock and roll course was because it's a kind of music that I really love, and I do like writing a lot. So to have that supplement during the day where I can explore the genre of music and compare it to this field that I really enjoy, it ended up being really productive and enjoyable.
People say I'm crazy.
You would choose a certain style of music or a certain instrument or a certain artist or just a trend in the musical world that you wanted to research a little and give a short presentation. It was a very important part of John's life. The song Watching the Wheels is one of my favorites because it's this reflection of where he is, I think, as an activist and as a musician, taking the path with his life that he's taking in terms of moving away from the Beatles, fighting for peace and for making the music that he was making.
What do you think is interesting about the way Jack Ruby comes across as a character in this novel? A later book that we read was Don DeLillo's novel Libra, which is about the Kennedy assassination. I've always been interested in teaching courses that introduce students to recent American history and the way history intersects with literature, and particularly the novel as a form. I think one of the things that's been beneficial, by the way, in the class in terms of having adults involved is that the adults do often remember events from the times that we're studying in the class and can tell stories that make these events seem more resonant and vivid to the kids.
Having parents in the class is really interesting because you get so many different perspectives, and I think a lot of the time you're in the class with GFS kids who have very similar opinions on things. It's nice to hear what our parents have to say and what they know.
It's less formal than in the classroom during the day, and I think that encourages conversation. I think the students become more mature in many ways through their observations. You're asking them to be more adult, more college-like.
It does seem to somehow be tied into this sort of like historical narrative kind of thing.
Absolutely, absolutely, especially if I was able to this year because of Cormac McCarthy and our study of All the Pretty Horses and The Crossing and Cities of the Plain. We were able to have a class down in Fairmount Park at the Cedars House and have dinner and then walk over and get a tour of the horse stables at Northwestern Stables to get a little more information about what is it really like to take care of a horse, what's the language that horses use to communicate with you, since a lot of the themes in that book are about relationships between humans and animals and what does this mean for the future of humans, really, are some of the big questions that are raised there.
if you start to take a mythological or symbolic interpretation, just to be really frank, it is comforting.
And just to have that kind of, those really healthy boundaries, I thought that was amazing. I was really impressed with that. Yeah, Dorit.
The police's injustice and wrongdoings in Vietnam.
Actually, Mo Yen is staying right on the line, too. Like, what he's saying is critical.
There's not a lot that would change about it. It's really exciting, and it just makes the year a little different at the end.
You're not taking a class because that's how old you are and you need to take it. You're taking a class because you like it.
And so you have a sharing of information and experience between people of different generations. It's very unique in that way.
And I eagerly await the invitation to teach again, because it is really a joy to see such wonderful work come from my GFS students and their parents.